I'll hang out.
What up, YouTube? It's Deuce here, Monday, June 11th, 2012. It's going to be my review for tonight's Raw. I apologize for the tardiness. I actually was kind of just rewinding certain parts of Raw while I was watching it. Let me turn this down. Sorry, watching American Psycho, one of my favorite movies. Great fucking film. Christian Bale is just subpar. Just fucking perfecto in this film. So it's good shit. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It was my birthday yesterday, so I had a pretty good, actually really good weekend all around. Enjoyed time with friends, just had some good times, a few drinks, and just good time all around. So yeah, hope you guys had a good weekend and whatnot. And hope you had a good Monday today. So Raw tonight in my home state, Connecticut, Hartford. And I gotta say, tonight's crowd, I was very pleased with. This was one of the better crowds I've seen on Raw in a while. I mean, pretty much since the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. That's honestly the last good crowd I can remember. And it pisses me off. WWE, there is so erratic with their crowds. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just the cities they go to, but it's like the good crowds, it's so erratic. Like, it's never consistent. You'll never have one Raw, like three, four Raws in a row where it's good, like solid crowds that are into every single moment of the show, like every aspect, segments, matches, backstage interviews, whatever. Um, it's just like there'll be like tonight, for example. This was a really solid crowd, and watch the next 3 weeks they'll be going back to you can hear a pin drop in the arena. I just find that really strange that more crowds, when they find out, hey, Raw's going to be in our city next week, they wouldn't pick up on that and be like, let's try and be as loud as we possibly can, be louder than the previous city, whatnot. I don't know. I just think all crowds should be as enthusiastic and electric as they were tonight. I mean, it wasn't, up to par with your Miami, New York, Chicago crowds, but it was a pretty fucking solid crowd. They were into it all night. You could tell there was a lot of mature fans. Like, you could hear the deep tone in the chant, the deep tone in the chants tonight, which was always good. Less fucking kiddies. I didn't actually hear many kids tonight at all, as some heels were being cheered and shit, uh, yeah, just good shit all around. So I'm gonna get into the review. So Raw kicks off in Hartford, Connecticut with John Laurinaitis. Comes down to the ring before he can even utter a word. Out comes Mr. McMahon. Vince struts down to the ring like only he can. He gets a great pop. Vince says tonight it's all about business. He's here to give John a performance evaluation. Vince tells Big Johnny to give him one good reason why he shouldn't fire him right here tonight. And Johnny says 2 words: people power. Vince, that's 3. And so he didn't say that. He just said people power. Big Johnny says that's why am I the man for the job? Because I do it all. He said. And he said because he's the GM of both Raw and SmackDown and the executive vice president of talent relations, which apparently he got removed from today, and now Triple H has that position apparently. So sorry, Johnny. And Sheamus comes out to join the party. He talks about Big Johnny is a bad friend or whatever. I don't know, some weird shit. Sheamus says John Laurinaitis is the worst GM in WWE history, and he tells Vince to kick Johnny out on his ass. Vince tells Johnny that I keep calling him Johnny. Vince tells John Laurinaitis that if he doesn't impress him tonight, then he's fired. And then Vince drives Big Johnny's scooter back up the ramp, and he sends it off the stage. It's pretty funny. He took a nosedive. Back from commercial. We see why Alberto Del Rio is now out of the world title match at No Way Out against Sheamus, and they showed the clip, but apparently I heard they showed the reason he was concussed was because of a chop from the Great Khali, which is bullshit because they showed it in slow motion. It didn't even look that bad. And I heard it was from when Sheamus actually threw Del Rio headfirst into the WWE symbol up at the top of the ramp into the base part of it. And I was watching SmackDown last night actually because I missed it. I was out all weekend doing shit for my B-Day and whatnot. So I saw it last night. I was watching SmackDown and I saw the part where Del Rio Sheamus just basically threw Del Rio face down into the ramp, and you could hear the thud it made. Like, that's fucking gay, man. I wanted to see this match. There was some decent build-up to this title match, and both these guys are good workers. I wanted to see a Del Rio Sheamus feud. Like, It just sucks that Sheamus had a fucking injured Del like that. Obviously didn't do it on purpose, but just need to be more careful, especially with how many of your top stars are out of. Excuse me. Especially considering how many of WWE's top stars are out these days due to suspension, or whether it's a suspension or injury. So yeah, so we see that clip, and then we see a clip that they lied to us about. It wasn't actually the reason why he got concussed. So out comes Sheamus' opponent, Lord Tensai, who was handpicked by John Laurinaitis. Or it's Tensai now. Tensai versus Sheamus. Sheamus wins with a bro kick. Then there's a backstage segment with Teddy Long, John Laurinaitis, Vince, and Vicky Guerrero. Oh man, excuse me. We go to commercial. This is a weird little segment, basically coming up with ideas on how John Laurinaitis can impress Vince tonight. Commercial. Back from commercial, Tensai is in the ring with Sakamoto, his worshiper or whatever, his fucking henchman, and he basically beats the shit out of him. So that's obviously done. I guess Tensai is just gonna roll solo now. And so then Cole and King hyped the 1000th episode of Raw in 6 weeks in July. And there's a backstage segment with Matt Striker and R-Truth, and it ends up with R-Truth getting knocked out by Big Show. I could see it coming when they closed in on R-Truth's face, and he was talking about how Cena's going to handle Big Show and No Way Out this Sunday. So, but by R-Truth, he got knocked the fuck out, and I heard he broke his foot or sprained it really badly this weekend. So, this past week overseas in Spain or whatever. So maybe this was a way tonight to take him out of the storylines. I don't know. So we go to commercial after that. Then back from commercial, out comes Santino, followed by Layla. And then next is Beth Phoenix and Ricardo Rodriguez for a mixed tag team match. So Layla and Santino versus Beth and Ricardo. Beth and Ricardo win after Beth hits the glam slam on Layla. I mean, I like Layla, but she just gets no reaction when she comes out. Karma needs to come back and make the Divas interesting, somewhat relevant. Interesting at the very least. God, this movie's so fucking good. Every part is so amazing. Sorry. I'm just really enjoying it. Yeah, so that shit, the mixed tag match, whatever. Then there's a backstage segment with David Otunga and Vince McMahon. Nothing really to, note on there. Nothing really to point out, I guess, if you will. Kofi Kingston and John Laurinaitis come in the segment, and basically Kofi says, I want show tonight, and John Laurinaitis names a match, Kofi versus Big Show in a steel cage, preview of Sunday No Way Out, between Show and Cena. And then we see Dan O'Brien walking backstage commercial. Back from commercial, out comes Dan O'Brien. D-Bry cuts a promo on AJ Punk and Kane. He says, how can you blame AJ for still wanting something as great as this? Points at himself. Says AJ can attest, once you go Bryan, there's no point in trying. I thought that was pretty funny. He says he's not interested in AJ, he's interested in the WWE title. Out comes CM Punk. Punk talks about AJ and tells D-Bry that in the ring he's not even close to being in his league. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, you guys are pretty close to being same, talent-wise in the ring. I'd just go as far as to say D-Bry even has an edge over Punk, but who am I to say? So yeah, and then Kane comes out to join the fray. He says, let me remind you two of who or what I am. He's talked about some of the things he's done over the years, like when he lit JR on fire, electrocuted Shane McMahon's testicles, and they didn't edit that out. I thought that was pretty funny. And then, so they all say their piece, and then he says after Sunday he'll be the one to walk out of No Way Out WWE champion. Then AJ comes out and she basically says something to each man in the ring. She says Kane, she knows, has a heart after looking into his eyes last week on SmackDown or whatever. And then Punk says, you gotta love crazy chicks. Then Big Johnny gets on the Tron and names a tag match for tonight. Daniel Bryan and Kane versus CM Punk and A-Tray. So, interesting there. And then we get hyped for the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match to determine the new #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title, which is up next. Commercial. So, this match was basically made by Teddy Long earlier. Back from commercial, out comes Christian, followed by the Great Khali. Why does he keep being used in matches? Why? The last two out are Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. So it's Christian versus the Great Khali versus Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger in a Fatal 4-Way Elimination match to determine the new number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship to replace Alberto Del Rio. So I was hoping since Kali unfortunately was in this match, he'd at least get eliminated first, so that I could see three great in-ring competitors do battle. And sure enough, Kali was eliminated first after all three guys kind of helped out on it, getting him eliminated. Then Christian eliminated Swagger, and then Dolph Ziggler ended up eliminating Christian. He hit the zigzag, and those two came down to had a lot of good near falls, a little one-on-one match at the end. So Dolph Ziggler wins. I was really happy with that. Finally, Dolph does not get squashed, does not get buried. He actually wins the match, an important match at that. And so Dolph is now the number one contender for the world title at No Way Out this Sunday against Sheamus. So he and Sheamus ended up coming out at the top of the ramp after, and Dolph and him had a little stare down, exchanging words. So yeah, it should be a good match Sunday. At least they got a respectable replacement. Then there's backstage segment with Vince and those two fucking Brodus Clay's two Funkasaurus hoes, whatever. One of them was that dumb Naomi bitch from Tough Enough who said the best match she saw in WWE was Alicia Fox versus Melina. Why does she have a job? Why? It's beyond me. So and then there's Vince dances with them both. It's fucking stupid. Kind of funny just Vince seeing him dance like that. And then Zack Ryder makes an appearance just like a really shocked face of what he just saw and all that. And Vince says, woo, 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 you know it. Whatever. Then Kofi and Big Show's hyped for later. Commercial. Back from commercial. Out comes Ryback followed by yet again two more jobbers. These guys look like they fucking delivered pizza. I mean, let alone professional wrestlers. I mean, Jesus. I mean, can we get them some actual competition, please? Since you're pushing them so hard, it'd be nice to see them actually, compete against a legit superstar. I don't know. So Ryback versus two jobbers. One was like Rutherford something and I don't even know. The names were hilarious. Ryback destroyed them both. Squash match. Hit his finisher. Both of them on his shoulders. Yeah. So, I mean, he barely gets a reaction when he comes out. Just like stupid as fuck. I'm not saying like he should. I'm saying the crowd, it's their fault. I'm saying like just give him some competition. Maybe we could actually take him seriously, and that will lead to him getting a reaction. So after that, Ryback shit, the steel cage is being lowered. We go to commercial. Back from commercial, we see Vince McMahon and Hornswoggle backstage. Look, it's father and son. Obviously, they completely forgot about that. They would never mention that. Seeing how WWE likes to forget certain things ever happened. Back from commercial, Vince and Hornswoggle backstage, and Hornswoggle's wearing like a cowboy hat, like JR's face, and they're watching a SmackDown clip of Hornswoggle imitating JR. Then Vince puts on the cowboy hat, and he does a JR impression. And he almost sounded like he was making fun of him, like his Bell's palsy shit. I didn't like that at all, to be honest. Like, I love Vince, obviously. But, I mean, come on. There was a really point to poke fun at JR there. Like, after all he's done for you, all for your company, all the great matches, he's called, all the, matches he's made entertaining that probably wouldn't have been entertaining in the first place. Like, come on. There's no reason to make fun of him. What the fuck did this movie just pause? Television signal has been lost? Fuck that shit. Damn it. Anyways, so yeah, I just didn't like that at all. Cena walks in and tells the sooner John Laurinaitis is gone, the better. And then Otunga and William Regal appear on the segment. It's always good to see William Regal. Back to the arena. Out comes Kofi Kingston. Commercial. Back from commercial. We see a pre-show match announced for No Way Out. You can see at WWE.com, YouTube, or Facebook. It's going to be Brodus Clay versus David Otunga. Yeah, I'm really going to want to tune in to see that. Give me a break. Big Show, and so Big Show out to the ring. It's Kofi Kingston versus the Big Show steel cage match. I like Big Show's new shirt for some reason. There's something about it. I really like it. I don't know why. Yeah, so Kofi versus Big Show in a steel cage match. Show destroys Kofi and wins the match after he hits the knockout punch. then walks out of the stage, and he was taunting the crowd a lot during this, like saying, smile now, like all that shit. I'm loving this, man. I like this Big Show, heel Big Show. It's finally good to see something different. WWE, you want ratings, you wonder why your ratings like are floundering all the time. Like, do something new like this, or how about turn Cena heel? I was just gonna say WWE. I was reading an article that they're looking for like a big angle for the summer, like they've had the last couple of years. 2010 Nexus, all that went all throughout the summer into the fall, even early 2011. Then last summer you had CM Punk, that fucking promo he cut, and then just that storyline that fucking started up right after that with leading him becoming the WWE champion. They're looking for something like that this summer, I guess, and that's apparently why they brought Vince back tonight, to increase the ratings. But hey, want to hear something that would twist everything around, a big swerve, be a summer storyline? Turn John Cena heel. I know it never happened. I know it's never probably going to happen, but I mean, WWE, I know you're too pussy to try that because you're too scared of the backlash that would come back if that happened, or the ratings going down, people not coming to events to see their hero. But I'm just saying that's the biggest swerve you could possibly make happen, and the biggest storyline you could happen, turn Cena heel. But we know it's never going to happen, so not going to waste my time talking about it. So yeah, Big Show won the steel cage match. Then we see Big Johnny backstage enjoying what he just saw. We go to commercial. Back from commercial, Sin Cara to the ring, followed by Kurt Hawkins. Oh, and by the way, during the Fatal 4-Way match, the elimination match for number one contender, there were a lot of "Let's Go Ziggler" chants. Like I was saying, this crowd in Hartford tonight is very solid. A lot of true wrestling fans there tonight, and they were chanting "Let's Go Ziggler." It's good to hear that Ziggler getting fucking chants, because people are starting to realize how fucking talented this kid is. How this, just literally can do it all in the ring, and he can sell every move. He can talk on the mic. He has it all. He's a total package. Charisma. Hopefully soon enough everyone will realize it. And so yeah, then during this Sin Cara versus Kurt Hawkins, there were "Let's Go Hawkins" chants, which I can't believe I heard that. Not really a fan of Kurt Hawkins, but I like the dude. I respect his talent. I want to see him get pushed. One of these young guys again who needs to get more TV time. Sin Cara wins. I mean, all he does now is, I swear, like before he got injured, he was doing a lot cooler moves. Now he just does like a lot, like arm drags that with a couple extra flips to enhance it. Cool, man. You still botch a lot of moves. So Kurt Hawkins loses. Sin Cara won with his finisher. Then we get hyped for Vince's decision on John Laurinaitis. Later, back from commercial, we see Daniel Bryan stretching backstage. Vince walks up and kind of disses Daniel Bryan, says, "You can't judge a book by its cover." So, like, if I walked down the street, I would never, and looked at you, I would never guess that you were a former world champion, let alone WWE superstar. So, that was shit there. They exchange words, and then backstage, we see a locker room with a Raw 1000 on it, and King says, John Laurinaitis has invited a former world champion of Raw's past to compete here tonight. We'll find out who it is next. Commercial. So that got me hyped right there. And as soon as I saw that, though, I kind of knew who it was, because I had read earlier, like in the day this morning or whatever, that Vader was spotted in the area of where Raw was going to be tonight. So sure enough, we go to commercial. Back from commercial, Heath Slater's in the ring, and he talks about how it's my time, it's Slater time. Like, and obviously you knew who was going to be there, but nonetheless, out comes Vader, and he got a really nice pop. This crowd was fucking hot tonight, man. They popped for Vader. It wasn't one of those deadbeat, like, down south, no offense, hick-ass towns with, like, people wouldn't give two shits if it wasn't John Cena. So, yeah, I mean, this was fucking awesome to see. I swear Vader looks the exact same. I swear, like, my first time I saw him was when I was 8 years old. First time I saw him wrestle. And, I saw him when he made appearances in, like, '05 and even a few years ago every now and then, and he still looks the exact same. And I went on Wikipedia and looked, he's like 57. But he's one of those guys who just ages really well. So, yeah, Vader wins the match with a Vader bomb, and the crowd was chanting, "You still got it," and, like, "Let's go, Vader." I love those crowds. You didn't hear any kids. It was all deep, like, male tones in the chants. It's all I want to see. Vader won with the Vader bomb. Crowd was loving it. Really cool to see Vader back. That was cool. I like to see that. So then we had a backstage segment with CM Punk and AJ. She gave him a kiss on the cheek, basically getting ready for their match next. Then back from commercial, we go to commercial, back from commercial. Kane out to the ring, followed by Daniel Bryan, then CM Punk and AJ out next. So Kane and Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk and AJ in the main event match. Punk and AJ win after Punk hit the elbow on Kane, I think it was. Or was it Daniel? Yeah, Daniel Bryan, actually, I think. Uh, some weird shit was happening. Happened in this match. AJ came in and stared at Kane, kind of started smiling. Then she started skipping around him, and she looked. His eyes literally hopped onto him like Lita hopped on Edge. Basically, the first time they hooked up back in 2005, hopped on him, wrapped her legs around his waist. She just went to town on Kane, man. She just started making out with him hardcore. Fucking hooking up with Kane in the ring. The crowd was like, what the fuck? Everyone was like going nuts. So, damn, AJ, I want you to wrap your legs around me. Like, that, damn. So that was nuts. She hooked up with Kane there, and then she left the ring, and then, led to CM Punk in the flying elbow, Macho Man elbow on Daniel Bryan, I think it was, for the win. Or was it on Kane? For some reason, I couldn't remember. I was looking at something else, which one he hit it on. But, yeah, Punk and AJ win. And after the match, she's just sitting in the ring, like, Indian style, cross-legged, just, like, smiling. Fuck, I think she's a good actress. Like, smiling, that crazy psycho bitch, like, smiling, just, like, looking around all happy and shit. Just that kind of like, crazy chick smile, look on her face. Punk, everyone's just wondering, like, looking at her, like, what the fuck. Kane's at the top of the ramp, Punk's in the ring, Daniel Bryan's on the outside of the ring. They're all just like, what the fuck. So, and AJ said this Sunday the best man will win. So, in the Triple Threat match, I guarantee you she's going to have a part to play in that match. So, I'm looking forward to that. It's definitely the most entertaining storyline going right now, in my opinion. So, yeah, that craziness happens. Then Vince McMahon comes out to the ring with security. After we went to commercial and back to the commercial, from commercial, Vince out to the ring, John Laurinaitis out next, and Vince says, the security is not for him, it's actually for you, John. And Vince says, security is here tonight to escort a certain someone out of this ring, out of this arena, and out of his business. Vince is about to tell John he's fired, and then Big Show's music hits, and Show comes down and says, Big John, he's made some mistakes, but one thing he did do is sign him to an ironclad contract. And Show basically, he's said a lot, so I didn't take everything down, but he cut a fucking great promo. I really thought it was excellent. Then, of course, it's interrupted by Cena. Cena comes down to the ring, says some stuff. I just don't understand why Cena can never be serious in all of his promos. Like, he always has to have, like, a joking tone in his voice, like a laughing tone. Like, dude, Rock, yeah, he likes to have fun. He fucking insults people all the time. He says funny shit, but he was always serious, like intense in his promos and his segments back in the day with his opponent, whoever he was feuding with. Cena, he just laughs like every fucking show and smiles every show, and then like one show he'll be really serious, and then the next, win or lose, he'll be back to woo happy like Skippy McGee. So I just, that's the one thing that bothers me about him. Like, dude, Show is serious as fuck. Why can't you be serious? Like, I've seen you be serious. I'd respect you a little more. But so they say some words to each other, and then the show ends in a scuffle. And Big Show, Cena's working on Big Show in the corner, rights and lefts, and John Laurinaitis tries to get Cena off him, and then Vince tries to get Laurinaitis off Cena, and Big Show cocks his right fist. It's left. Wow. Right fist, and he knocked Vince the fuck out. To be honest, it didn't even look like he touched Vince. It looked like he completely missed, maybe nicked him a bit. He was going for Cena. Obviously, Cena ducked, and he hit Vince. So, yeah, that's how Raw ended, basically, with Big Show leaving the ring. John Laurinaitis was telling Show, get out of here, like, leave. He leaves the ring, and then Cena's in the ring basically saying, let's get some help in here. And by the way, before that, Vince said this Sunday he's going to be at ringside next to John Laurinaitis, because if Big Show loses a steel cage match to John Cena, Vince will tell John Laurinaitis, you're fired. So, yeah, so that should be good to see Sunday. But Raw ended with Vince knocked the fuck out in the middle of the ring, and EMTs attending to him, and one of them even threw up the X symbol, which I know that means someone's like legit hurt. So I don't know if he was actually hurt. It didn't look like he got hit at all, but maybe, I don't know, something happened we didn't see. So yeah, Raw tonight, 3 hour show. I actually really enjoyed Raw tonight. I thought it was pretty damn good. I just wish it could be more consistent, like more good Raws like this. Don't take a few weeks off of shitty for some shitty Raws and then come back with a really good one. Be consistent like you are tonight. Have this show every Monday night, and the ratings will go up. Um, and yeah, I really enjoyed Raw tonight, and the crowd basically made the show, in my opinion. Hartford, kudos to you, Connecticut, way to fucking represent. Hell yeah. Good fucking crowd tonight, good show. So yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinions were on tonight's show in the comments below, and subscribe if you'd like to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Not sure when my next vid will be, but you'll obviously see when it is. My next video is. You'll definitely see it on here. So wow, I've had a few drinks tonight, so if I seem like I'm, talking, repeating myself, I apologize. But yeah, so comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And Raw was good tonight. I'm out. Peace.